You realize your reality is exactly how you see it.
Mhm.
Like, you're choosing to see it like that. Like, one of my favorite things to say is, like, "Choose your hard."
Mhm.
'Cause you know that guy that woke up underneath the bridge this morning?
Mhm.
Might be the happiest guy in the world because
Right.
he woke up. Because he walked down the street and someone gave him a hot meal. You got somebody waking up a king size bed, nice house, beautiful family, doesn't even have to go to work because they might be financially stable, and they're just like, "Ugh,
Still pissed off at the world.
why is my life like this?"
Yeah.
And so, like, I try to be grateful every day, but,
Mhm.
like, choose your hard. It's hard to be the guy that's being successful. It's
Mhm.
hard to be the guy that's waking up underneath the bridge. It's gonna be hard to be the guy that follows through, goes to the gym.
Mhm.
It's hard to be the guy who sits on the couch getting unfit too.
Mhm.
So, like, choose your hard. Which do you want?
Right.
Do you want the hard that you're gonna kick yourself in the butt for 30 days from now? Or do you want the hard that you're gonna, like, pat yourself on the back and be like, "Yeah, we did this."
That's okay, guys. Did you hear that? Choose your hard.
Choose your hard. It's
Man.
all gonna be hard.
Sam has been a lifelong friend of ours, me and Chelsea. Chelsea's best friend and a very good friend of mine for many, many years. And we've been wanting to do this for quite some time. We just didn't know where we wanted to go with our stories because we all have some big stories. So today with Samantha, why she's here, we're going to go into massage, a little bit of yoga, and she does hospice care as well. So with that being said, and Samantha is a Reiki master as well. So I'm going to give the reins to you, Samantha, and have you introduce yourself, starting with who you are.
So, I'm Samantha. I've been a massage therapist for 16 years, going on. I was licensed in 2010, started school in '09. I think March of '09. Massage is what opened my doors for being my own boss, being self-employed. So,
Yeah.
that was always the goal.
Hmm.
After I don't wanna work for anybody. I wanna work
Right.
for myself. I want to fill my own cup. So, I had a career in a salon for a while, and then I went out on my own, and, the salon where I met your beautiful wife.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I went out on my own and opened up Zen's Day Spa where, um,
And that's your
I
business, right?
Yep,
Okay.
and that's in Independence.
Yep.
Then I got my Reiki 1, and that was kind of the opening door for the spiral to
Yeah.
my healing and my journey and realizing what kind of journey I was on.
Right.
So,
But it started with the massage and then Zen Day Spa. What do you all do there? Is it just massage or can you tell us about that?
massage, skincare, Reiki, anything holistic healing.
Yeah.
We try to focus on overall body health, mind. Um, I do several different modalities: hot stones, aromatherapy, hot bamboo, deep tissue, trigger point.
That's
Um,
not something you just all learned at school or was it?
so some of the stuff was touched on briefly, but then every year you have to have so many continued education hours. And so every year I went back for some more stuff
Right.
that interested me or that I thought would help my client.
That's awesome. So how did you get into massage?
Um, I dated this guy that we exchanged massages. He got professional massages and he's like, "You should be a massage therapist." And I laughed at him and I was like, I don't like to touch people." And so, like, I went to CNA school. I did that. Decided that that was too much heart in it for me at the time.
Mhm.
Um, and decided I was just going to work the, 5 to AM to 4 PM or 3
Right.
to midnight shifts until I went back to school for massage. I decided I was gonna try it out.
Where'd you go to school?
La James in Cedar Falls.
Okay. Was that a long program or no?
I think it was 6 months,
Yeah.
but
I like that. I mean, as far as, like, schooling goes, like, my program for the auto world was 9 months, yours was 6 months
yeah, it was like
versus, like
700, 500
yeah,
hours. I'm not sure.
but versus going to, like, a 4-year college,
Yes.
like a D1 school where it's like, okay, your first 2 years, you're doing all
You're
of
doing all the
your
same things you were in high school.
yes,
You're doing
yes,
classes that mean nothing
right, and you're
versus just going in and figuring out what it is that you love and starting right away, hands-on, all the education, like, right there.
yeah,
That's what kinda learner I am.
me too.
I like the hands-on stuff.
Yeah. I think it when you're doing something with your hands, like, I even know, like, when I'm talking with my hands, it's, you just retain the information better, like, it's sinks in deeper, I feel like, versus when I was in school, like, I'm thinking high school, like, when I would read out of a book or whatever, I was like, "Oh my god, I can't." And then I remember taking, like, a welding course or doing something with my hands, a wood shop course, it's like, I didn't even learn about this in a book, I just started doing it, and now I know all about this, and I think it's because we're physical beings, human beings that
Yeah, the interaction
yes.
is what
Yes.
engages,
Right.
like, you can sit there and listen to somebody all day long and
Right.
not get what they were trying to get through you. If they walk you through it and show you what I want you to do, you're more likely to get the message through, you know?
Just as you said that, I was thinking about, like, our two-year-old Lenny, and, this pertains especially to young children. You can't just talk to them and say, "Don't do this or don't do that," if they're getting into something that's
Go
they
put your toys
yeah,
away.
"Go put your toys away," or whatever. But if you get up and show them how to
Let's
do
put
it
our
yeah,
toys away.
there you go.
Let's get our shoes on.
Yes, they really want to, and they're interacting now, and now they're retaining that information. So when you look at a child, because children are just, I mean, for all of us out there, like if you want to learn something, watch a child and what
They
they're
are our
doing.
greatest teacher.
Yes, because you start really, and how you can apply that to adults, even. The same thing with a 2-year old. It's that simple, just showing somebody and how to do something like that. So,
Having a little patience,
yes.
compassion
Yeah,
goes a long ways.
for sure. So, back on your story, we did the massage and then you touched briefly on Reiki. How did you get into that or how
So during massage, our teacher, you kind of get taught what your teacher knew. So each teacher has to be a massage therapist for at least 5 years. And then over those 5 years, they take their own con ed classes, continued education.
Mhm,
So you're learning what they went to school for, like what they're able to pass on. There's some textbook stuff, of course, that is passed on to all massage people from the original book.
mhm,
But then you have your certain expertise where your teacher knew stuff. So my teacher took us into chi
mhm,
and working with chi and working with energy and how, whether we knew it or not, when we were doing massage, we were working with the energy of the client
right.
and how our intention when we touched the body made a difference in their healing
Mhm,
and in their session.
mhm.
So if you go into a session like, I
Yeah.
just can't wait to get this over with, and I don't really care for
Yeah,
this
I need my
person,
$100 real quick. Get out of here.
you know, um, the session's not going to be as rewarding as it would be if you're going in there and touching the person with compassion, with an intention to help their lower back pain,
Yeah.
you know, or
Mhm.
to help their shoulder pain.
Right.
So every massage or every person that comes in to get a massage
Mhm.
has an intention for that service.
Right.
So that is a little bit of like how Reiki I seen after I was became Reiki
Yeah.
was already in my practice so much.
Yeah, you were doing it before, I guess you were told about Reiki, you just
Yeah.
didn't really know it.
But then when I was attuned, it was like, this is what I've been doing my whole life and you call it something. And I was always that odd child out that
Yeah.
collected rocks
Yeah.
and talked to animals and, like,
Mhm.
felt things and seen things that not maybe everybody's seen
Yeah.
and, or just new things,
Right. You
you
didn't
know?
really know, like, the titles of it,
No,
like
I had no
yeah,
idea that
yeah, or
these were
what it was.
spiritual gifts, and then after you realize what you're doing and you
Mhm.
become aware, then you can start living with,
Purpose.
awareness, like, walking through life with complete present awareness,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
Mhm.
you're no longer the victim of what happened to you, you're like, "Why did this happen for me?"
Yeah,
You know?
for
Why did
sure.
I live through that? Why did I survive that situation?
Yeah.
Because, as I grew up, we lost a lot of people.
Yeah.
Um, Tragic ways, accidents, drunk driving,
Mhm.
and all those things were, like, very traumatic at the time, but then when I grew up, when I say grown up, I mean have my daughter at 17,
Yeah.
and I started seeing how children can affect your life
Yeah.
and all the fears that are based around that. I started seeing why things happen to these kids around me.
Mhm.
So I was able to apply those lessons,
Yeah.
you know?
Right. Yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, even, like, just touching on your story there, keep forgetting that your daughter's getting ready to graduate, and we're the same age, and I got a not even two-year-old yet. And
Yeah.
and,
And that in its own self has been like an overcoming for me
right.
because being a teen mom, going
Yeah.
through that, like,
Yeah. How difficult it was, I'm
oh,
sure.
and then to be here
Yeah.
and to be like, we did it.
Yeah.
And
Well, and then your help, you didn't really have a lot of help on the man side of it,
no,
so to do that, on your own and to come out on the other side, and that's the other thing, like, I'm just as I'm talking here and hearing your story, that being on this spiritual journey and you said talking about awareness and being present and aware of what's actually happening takes a lot of energy considering everything that's getting thrown at you, with kids. I mean, raising a family, going through what you're going, like a spiritual awakening, in a sense, is a lot. It's because those are tests, those children are constantly testing you. Even when you were 17, just having that baby, like imagine what you're going through. And it's like, just screaming at the world.
oh,
And
I remember laying in the hospital bed looking at this baby
mhm,
that she was the most beautiful thing in the world. And she couldn't do anything. She couldn't even raise her head, and I
yeah,
looked at my mom and my grandma, and I was just like, "Thank you.
uh,
You coulda just walked away, and there's nothing I coulda done,"
right.
and I was like, "Thank you," because this responsibility
Yeah,
was huge.
huge. Hmm. Man, all of that is. And think about, like, just as you've grown and I've got to see you grow in your path, but then going back to that teenage girl you were raising those children and, your son and seeing how they're developing. It's no easy task being a parent, you know? But
No.
with that
And
being
you're never
said,
ready.
no,
You're never
no,
ready.
no.
Even at 40 years old,
Yeah,
planned,
yeah,
ready. You're never ready.
right.
So, like,
You just jump
you just
in.
do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
jump in and
you're never gonna be ready for what they have to bring to you.
right, and there's books about it, how to be the best mom or how to be the best dad or whatever, um, but you can't really apply that, just like we were talking about with going to school earlier. I don't know if we talked about that during the podcast, but how we can learn through a book, or you could just jump into something and physically experience it with your hands, and that's the best learning
Right.
right there. You're really grasping all that information.
Doing it yourself, learning the steps so
Mhm.
that you can repeat that. Like,
Yeah.
that's, you know
Wow. So you with raising the kids, doing massage, and then you have your own business.
I
Um,
didn't have Landon at this time yet.
yeah.
So Landon came along 5 years later,
Yeah.
almost 6 years later. So I had her in '07 and I
Mhm.
had him in '13.
Yeah.
So, I was doing I was building my massage business on the side. I was working at Fairway part-time. I
Mhm.
was working at Casey's part-time, and I was working at Del Rio on weekend nights.
Mhm. So,
Um,
like, 4 jobs going
4
on.
jobs trying to build my side gig hustle.
Mhm.
Um, doing everything I could to pay the bills and try to function and do what was expected of you to raise the kid, to make the supper, to do this, to do that. You know, grandma helped me a lot with daycare. Mom helped me a lot with daycare with her. So
Mhm.
that was nice that we always had family in that sense to help me.
Right.
Um, but like it was just a lot,
Mhm.
and now I have a couple of jobs, but I'm like, I don't know how I had time to have 4 jobs. I mean,
Right.
I was literally gone every day.
Yeah.
And so like
Just surviving too.
just to make enough to survive.
Yeah. Mhm.
Work $7 an hour,
Yeah.
4.35 an hour waitressing.
Right.
I was just living off tips.
Tough
Like, my
times.
tips was what our living money was,
Yeah.
you know?
Wow.
So and I'd be happy if I had 20 bucks left after I paid all my bills,
Mhm.
So life's gotten easier in that sense,
Yeah.
but it's also gotten more rewarding.
Mhm.
So
Well, now you can, I mean, as you went on your journey, you can go back and reflect a little bit, and you get to see and just talking. That's why I love podcasts and I love doing this, because what we're doing right now, you're going back and you're getting to relive some of those memories. And I could see it's bringing some emotions up, and which is good because now we get to kind of go back and talk and reflect on, like, holy shit, look at where you've went, look at who you are now, where you've come, and now you get to reap some rewards.
right, now I
And
get to go on girls' vacations, and
yes,
my kids get to be in the activities, and
yeah, do the
they
sports
get to
and
have the shoes, and they get to do whatever,
right.
and, like, I worked really hard for that. I just hope
Yeah.
someday
They return the favor.
no, not even just they realize that mom tried.
I
That's it, just that I tried.
It might not
Y
be right away. It might be until they're
oh,
in their mid-20s,
when they have
30.
their own
Yeah,
children, I
yeah,
realize it won't happen till they have
right.
their own children, but just
Uh,
someday to realize that I really did try.
yeah.
Like, I've tried to become a better person
Mhm.
and grow up and face my demons
Yeah.
and my shadows, all while maintaining a business and a family life and doing all this.
Yeah.
So like to work on yourself
Mhm.
and
Do
to
all that.
do all that is
Mhm.
a lot. Some people just go through the motions. They never take the time to focus on themselves.
Well, they don't even think about what's happening. We talked about it off air a little bit about The Matrix, the movie, and the girl in the red dress,
Yeah. You're just
and
going through the motions
yeah,
till
you're
you see the
just,
girl in the red dress. And then you're like, aha,
"Whoa, hello, blonde hair too."
I do have some control over
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, and that's important, and like you just said, to when you realize it and, you know, reality starts to change, you start to change instead of just being that person that just keeps punching in and punching
When
out.
you realize your reality is exactly how you see it,
Mhm,
like you're choosing to see it like that. Like one of my favorite things to say is like choose your heart.
mhm,
Cause that guy that woke up underneath the bridge this morning
mhm.
might be the happiest guy in the world because
Right.
he woke up. Because he walked down the street and someone gave him a hot meal. You got somebody waking up a king size bed, nice house, beautiful family, doesn't even have to go to work because they might be financially stable, and they're just like, "Ugh,
Still pissed off at the world.
why is my life like this?"
Yeah.
And so, like, I try to be grateful every day, but, like, choose your hard. It's hard to be the guy that's being successful. It's hard to be the guy that's waking up underneath the bridge.
Right.
It's gonna be hard to be the guy that follows through, goes to the gym. It's hard to be the guy who sits on the couch getting unfit too.
Mhm.
So, like, choose your hard. Which do you want?
Right.
Do you want the hard that you're gonna kick yourself in the butt for 30 days from now? Or do you want the hard that you're gonna, like, pat yourself on the back and be like, "Yeah, we did this."
That's okay, guys. Did you hear that? Choose your hard.
Choose your hard. It's
Man,
all gonna be hard.
yeah,
Choose
that's
it. Staying
beautiful though.
sober, hard.
Yeah,
Being that person who has an addiction, who
yeah,
can't stay sober, hard.
right.
Choose it. Which is more rewarding?
Mhm.
Which is the short-term fix? Which is the long-term fix?
Dang.
You know? So choose your hard.
Yeah,
That's what I tell my kid every day. Choose your hard. Is it worth it?
right.
Are you gonna look back 30 days from now and be like, "Yeah, I'm glad I did that?" Or are you gonna look back and be like, I don't think I should have done that."
Yeah,
You know? Or like, "I wish I would have done that." How long has somebody been wishing they would join the gym? Myself included.
yeah.
I've been wishing I was a gym person. I've been wishing that I could be that person who had the motivation to go.
So how did you go then? Like
So
what flipped that script so you can give our listeners an example?
like, I wanted to, like, feel comfortable in my own body, to feel like I was strong.
Mhm.
We were moving grandma's stuff out of her house, and there was stuff that we were lifting, and I'm like, "Oh, I just don't feel strong. This
Yeah,
just isn't," and so, like, I wanna feel strong.
right.
I wanna feel like
Physically,
yes.
because mentally and
Oh,
spiritually, you know you're strong.
mentally, I know I'm strong, but
Yeah,
physically, I wanted to feel strong.
right.
Like, I play softball.
Mhm.
I was pulling my quads, like, every week, and I'm like, "Well, this ain't okay."
Yeah,
Okay, go get strong.
right.
So, I'm looking at going into my 40s. So
Mhm.
when I went into my mid-30s, I was like, "Okay, we're gonna do vitamins, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna start we're doing yoga,
Yeah.
and we're we're going as we get older, we're going to get healthier."
Mhm.
Okay? It doesn't have to be the other way around. So
Right.
now that I am, like, going into my here in a couple of years, I'll be 40, and I want to be strong. I want to be healthy. I don't want to have that mom pudge that I'm afraid of showing.
Mhm.
Like, you know?
Yeah,
So I took the step. I
yeah.
got a personal trainer.
Mhm.
I started going to the gym twice a week.
Yeah.
I did 6 weeks of that.
Mhm.
I got my membership,
There you go.
and today was my first day on my membership, and I went this morning before I came here.
Yeah.
So, like, mindset.
Mhm.
Is this worth it for me?
Mhm.
Yes, it's gonna be hard. Change is hard.
Right.
Staying the same is harder.
Yeah. Mhm.
Accepting that you stayed the same is harder.
Mhm.
Accepting you're the only one holding you back
Mm.
is the hardest truth.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about that, when you were saying about getting your gym membership, and we have a gym in our basement, and I actually pay for a gym membership myself too. Um, and I noticed though, I've been going to the gym my entire life, and I've noticed that when I go to the gym that I pay for, my workouts are way more intense, and I'm just more motivated and driven.
Yeah, because
And
you're paying for that. When
exactly.
somebody's
Yeah.
putting money into something, which is why sometimes you can't do energy work for free.
Right. You
Because
can't.
if somebody's not giving their money
Mhm. Yeah.
or exchanging something,
Right.
they're not taking something home with them. They're like, "This is free. I don't need to take anything.
Yeah, they're not
I'm
held
not gonna listen."
accountable. Yeah.
Some people, you start charging money for things, and they bring a notebook and a pen and a paper, and they wanna remember what you say,
Yes.
you know?
Dang.
But until you're doing an exchange, they're just like, "Eh, I could come here anytime, get the same advice, right? I'll just come back and ask the same questions."
Yeah, I've told clients that prior too. Like, I'm not a doctor. I'm we're not a Band-Aid center, where it's just like you keep coming back and keep coming back. What you just said there is like we're going to the root cause. We want to help you so you can help yourself. And then
Right.
you can continue to help yourself, kind of like you going to the gym, you were talking about it and I need to do this, I need to do that, but how do you actually do it? How do you actually get there? And then it started with a plan, and you're like, "I need a personal trainer so they can show me how to
Yeah,
do
because I had
these."
no idea how to use any of those foreign
Exactly.
equipments or what to do.
Right, but you put a plan together,
Right.
and he started showing you your trainer this, and he's pushing you a little bit. So now you got the stepping stones, you got the blocks to build with
Yep.
now.
And then so he gave me the tools.
Mhm.
It's my choice to use them.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's my choice to hop on YouTube and look up another ab workout or another this
Right,
or another that or what bar to use or,
right. And
like
how far to go with it? I mean, who knows? Maybe you'll be a personal trainer here in, like, a year.
a yoga personal trainer.
No, a physical personal trainer
Physical.
maybe. Because I just
I
was
don't know if
thinking,
I want to go to school for that. It's
what
like 3 years
to
to
be a
be an
physical.
assistant physical trainer. Is 3 years.
Jeez
Yeah,
Louise.
that's what my trainer actually just he had his test last week, so today he finds out whether he passed or not, but that's what he was going to he's 3 years to be an assistant. I was like, "Wow, you
Yeah.
should go be a massage therapist, and
Right.
then you can do physical anywhere."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh." And so, maybe he'll be a massage therapist here.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
all of the stuff he went through, all the the anatomy and stuff will add, hours, so it'll take off hours on the program, actually.
Yeah,
So, if you already have some training, they take off it counts, towards
right.
yeah.
So speaking of that, watching YouTube, and you said yoga a few times now. Is that where it started with yoga? Was just YouTube, or did you
So
experience something somewhere else, or how do we get there? Whew.
so I wanted to start doing something for myself. Already had spiritual connection, and then I knew that yoga could take that further. So I started getting up in the morning and doing 30-day challenges. And, 6 months, 30-day challenges later, 6 months later, I was doing yoga every day
Mhm.
and feeling better about myself. And I was more flexible. My balance was better.
Yeah.
So, there was poses that I wasn't able to do that first 30 days that I was able to do after.
Right.
And so once you get to balancing poses and headstand poses and stuff, and you're really, really
Challenging yourself.
challenging yourself and
Mhm.
feeling this get better, then yeah.
Right.
So
So with the yoga, because you just recently got a certification done, right?
yeah, so I've had my own private practice, where I've been practicing on my own for 9 years almost.
Mhm.
And then we started at New Human,
Mhm.
doing full circle moon sound baths, healings, yoga, meditation, sound baths. And Chelsea got her sound, and well, let's get all legit. And so
Yeah.
I got my yoga certification, did the 200 hours. That was great. Um,
Again, keeping yourself in check though, like, you gotta go do this 200 hours so you can get this certification.
yes,
Uh,
another certification.
yes, another one.
There's always another certification.
Yeah,
Once you get into the certification
yeah,
bracket, you just kinda collect these.
and you're like that. Like, I remember even our vacuum, that rainbow vacuum
Oh,
we
yeah.
got from you.
If I
You're
can get it for free.
Yeah, you're the type of girl that's like, "I'm gonna go do this," or Pampered Chef, or weren't you doing,
I
the,
did, Pure Romance.
Pure
I
Romance? There
did
you go.
the rainbow thing because I wanted to pay for my own.
Right.
If I can get it for free,
Yeah.
I'll do it for a minute
Hustler.
and get it for free.
Hustling.
Yeah. It's like $3,000 vacuum, come
Yeah, I
on.
know, ours is just sitting in our basement that's like,
Yeah, I'm gonna end up buying it.
yeah.
Yeah,
We just
because
didn't like it
I
because you
use
had
it
to
for the air
I
cleaner.
know you do, and we have another thing. It was so
You don't have as
bulky.
many pets as I do.
I know. You got all those cats.
I know.
Cat
And dogs.
crazy cat lady.
There's only 6.
And the one we gotta talk about that cat.
My little blind guy.
Well, One-Eyed Jack,
Oh,
the he's gone, right?
yeah.
Yeah, but the
Cal
one you
died.
shaved that looked like, Lion King.
Oh, Well, there's 2 of them. There's the white lion
Yeah.
and the black
So
lion.
picture like a lion, y'all, like from Lion
Like
King. Yeah, and she's got like just a really smaller version, like a kitty cat Lion King.
yeah, my lions.
Right.
It keeps down on the hairballs, and
Yeah.
then I get to chuckle to myself at their little puffball tail for a couple of
Oh,
weeks, and
yeah, I love that.
I tell you what, the first time I shaved Abyss was the best $30 I ever spent on a cat shaver, and I just giggled every time I seen that little puffball tail.
Yeah, just wagging around.
Yeah, it was great.
Kinda reminds me of like a dandelion just blowing in the wind, you know?
Yes.
So, back on your story with the massage and then doing yoga, um, what where do you see yourself going with this yoga? I mean, do you see focusing more energy and your attention in that field?
So right now it's 1 night a week because
Yeah.
that's what schedule allows. But I did already increase. We went from 1 class a week to
Mhm.
2 classes a week.
Right.
And then we have like different kinds of classes. So we're gonna have a yoga nidra and more of a yoga flow.
Mhm.
Um, so that we can do a little bit of for everybody,
Right.
you know?
'Cause there's how many different types of
Oh
yoga
my
out
gosh,
there,
so many.
and even yourself
Well, I wanna do gong yoga with
yeah,
Chelsea. I don't wanna have her play the gong and do gong yoga.
that'd be
That
fun.
would be great. So,
Yeah,
like, there's gonna be all kinds of stuff. We've done events already with massage and sound and meditation.
yeah,
Um, we did the events out here where we did the full groups with
right,
moons. We've done new moons, full moons,
yeah.
you know?
What's your plan, or I guess if you could see in the future, 10, 15 years from now, where do you see yourself going, like, with this? Or are you gonna always keep doing massage
So I don't
and
ever see myself, like,
yeah, quitting anything?
retiring,
Yeah,
okay? I'm gonna do something my whole life
right.
because that's how you keep living.
Mhm.
Whether that's working 1 day a week or having 1 client a week,
Yeah.
I will still engage in helping others heal
Mhm.
because that's how I heal.
Yeah.
Um, you think that there's a time that you should wait to jump into this work.
Mhm.
Like, well, I'm not quite healed enough or I'm not quite healed enough, you know? Um, you heal through others. You
Yeah.
heal by listening to their experiences.
Mhm.
As they're reliving their lives or their situations, it feels familiar and you get to reflect on your own.
Right, because you're just reflecting to them anyways, because again, we're all reflections of each other.
Right. And you get to see it from a different point of view,
Yeah.
or you get to see your own situation because somebody else is talking about theirs. And
Mhm.
you're like, wow, okay, that sounds familiar. You know, and sometimes it can be, like as far as somebody talking about their relationship and like somebody being in a good relationship and you're like, "Oh, I would love to have that." And then you
Right.
start saying, "What's wrong with my relationship?" Or,
Mhm.
you get somebody with a beautiful house and instead of like
How do you get there, you think? Like, even I'm just thinking as you're talking with the healing and everything and being plugged into the matrix, like how does one that's just going to the normal 9 to 5 job, just stuck in the normal grind, has his family, hates his life, whatever. How do you get them to realize or not get them, we're not trying to push our beliefs in me, but how do you think one realizes like maybe I should work on healing this part of me? Like how did you do it or how you know
so
what I mean? Like how
sometimes you just have to accept that everybody is exactly where they're supposed to be. Everybody's on their own time frame.
Mhm.
Um, we were friends for years.
Right.
Uh, neither one of you were Reiki.
Mhm.
Reiki's changed my whole perception and kind of peeled the layers away of the fakeness and the hair and the makeup and the job that didn't mean anything. And you know, um, you get this where the friends don't connect anymore either.
Yeah.
You know, but like you guys were always open minded.
Right.
You
thing.
never said that I was wrong.
No.
It was just we didn't talk about it.
Right.
So I just
But I
accepted
remember
where we
having
were.
some good conversations even before I did Reiki or anything. I mean, I remember I think we were in Madison one time, and this was, like, back when we partied a lot,
Yeah.
and I was in my full-on booze drinking years, and I remember, though, there was, like, after we had got done partying one night, we went out for breakfast or something and having a deep conversation. I don't even remember what it was about, but it was something regarding energy work and consciousness, and I'm like, what is she talking about?" But then as I, like, really started listening to you, I started, like, grasping it. So it wasn't like I was scared of it, it was just, intriguing and unique, And that was before even I mean, that was, like, 3 years
Right.
before I even went on my journey? It just is something
Yes.
that
So sometimes you have to like pick and choose who you bring like certain topics up to because
Right.
people want to be combative
Mhm.
or they want to argue.
Yeah.
Um
It's meeting them on their level, no different than the
right.
mirror, the reflection?
So
Yeah.
you can talk to somebody all day long,
Mhm.
but until they're ready to hear it,
Yeah.
they're not going to,
Right.
you know? Like
Mhm.
during that breakfast you could been like this bacon's so good, off in your own world, all this coffee. And then but and I could have been sitting there talking to myself
Right.
or to whoever was listening at the table,
Yeah.
so, um, at that moment, you were meant to hear a certain message and start tuning in,
Mhm.
like, s we have the same people or, like, they've been around the same group of people, but you just never meet them,
Yeah.
and then you meet them, and you're like, "Wow, we know all the same people, we lived in the same town, we"
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, these people are showing up that you've never seen, never met, and it's because you're meeting people you're supposed to learn from or people on your same frequency.
Right.
So,
Which is interesting because now that you're saying that, I'm like, I gotta bring like, I'm thinking of my mom right now and like how many people she knew and was connected to that are like around me. And it's like, oh, okay. It's a different, well, it's just vibration is what it is?
but I think there was a time where you needed to feel like she was all around you.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
those people just happened to pop up
Yep.
and it made you feel closer to her in a way. You got
Yeah.
to hear her life from other people's views,
Right.
you know,
Uh-huh.
from the other side of the picket fence,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because it's not all always what it seems to be inside the fence.
Hmm.
So you get to see what other people's perceptions are and how much they loved her and how much they thought about her and it makes you love them in a different way,
Right.
you know?
It does. Which going into that, the other side, you do hospice too, hospice care, right?
Yes. End of life comfort care with massage and Reiki.
Yeah. How did you get into that or what made you pursue that?
So, um I actually had no interest in it,
But I'm doing it.
but I'm doing it.
No, yeah, so
No,
let's
it
go
started
there.
off as, I had a friend who was actually she's a nurse for end of care life,
Mhm,
and she's like, "Hey, would you want a job?" And she's in my spa getting a massage. I got a job.
mhm,
Why would I want another one?
mhm.
You know? And she's like, "Well, like we really need some." And so, I pondered on it, thought about it, and I was like, I am 13 years into my career. Most therapists don't last 7.
Yeah,
Maybe this is a way for me to save my hands and do massage forever.
mhm.
Okay. Going back to I don't plan on retiring,
Right.
And so how do you make your career last for, you know,
Giving breaks. Yeah.
right. So, um, the massage obviously is not as intense as it would be on a young, healthy body who, goes to the gym or gets
Yeah, like
physical
me, you're
therapy.
not gonna give me the same massage to me
No,
versus a 90-year-old woman that's 80
no.
pounds?
And then, yeah, I checked into it I did a couple of classes online, geriatric and hospice care and something else. And, I thought, I'll try it. What do I got to lose?
Right.
If I don't like it, I just quit, right?
Mhm.
I'm my own boss. I don't have to give this up. I still got my business. So on my days off, I started going and traveling to do hospice. And there was some patients that just I loved so much.
Mhm.
I spent so much time with them. Um, and when I
'Cause
say
you're not just massaging them, right?
so, a lot of what I am massaging them, but I'm also there for their mental health, for their
Mhm.
spiritual health. A lot of these people are alone. A lot of these people don't have human touch at the end because nobody knows what to say.
Mhm.
Um, it's it's like when people hear cancer.
Mhm.
The only thing people know to say is, "I'm sorry." And you're like, "They don't wanna hear that. They've heard that a million times. Everybody's said they're sorry by now." Um, they just wanna be I get asked, "How do you" they just wanna be treated like a person.
Yeah. They just wanna be seen.
They they just wanna be treated the same way as they were before. Sure, they might need this or they might need that, or they might need a little extra help.
Mhm.
But they want you to laugh with them. They want you to talk to them. They want you to make that favorite pie that they loved just so they can smell it, even though they can't eat it. Okay. They want their animals around. They want their children around. They don't want to be shoved into a room where you close the door and,
Just to die.
yeah, mom's back there in the back room. We're just, so or grandma's back there in the back room. And so, like, the interaction, I mean, some people don't even have cameras set up where they can see
Mhm.
them, So they don't get a lot of interaction. They don't get a lot of human touch. They don't get a lot of that connection. A lot of these people are in the nursing home,
Mhm.
and we all know what happens to a lot of people that go to the nursing home.
Yeah.
Our family puts us there and they leave us there.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, you're okay.
Mhm.
I pay this place to take care of you." And really behind the scenes, it might not be as good as you think it is. You
Mhm.
know, there's lack of help in the care industry. There's so much shortage in workers. I can't tell you how many facilities I'm in and out of, and I don't see the same workers. I've been going in the same facilities for 3 years, and a handful of them are the same people, you know?
Just 'cause it's too difficult, or what do you mean by that? Just
I
because
the
it's
turnover, the
right? Because
lack
it's
of
too
help.
difficult? Like, where they're like, "Oh, I did this. I put in my time, but I just can't do this anymore," or
You
what do
know,
you think?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I Maybe a lack of compassion or human empathy all the way across.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
but we
I
used to take care of our elders.
right, and I'm thinking of that, like, I love talking with old people because they just
They
have
have the
so
best
much they
stories.
do in their knowledge. I mean, think about that and all the years they've went through, and I always loved going to my grandpa's and just hearing his stories because it's just
It's all astonishing.
yeah,
Like, you survived that,
yeah,
and nowadays it's like, you don't have a heated jacket,
yeah,
you know?
mhm,
And they were out there, having to chisel so that the cows could drink,
yeah,
you know?
mhm,
Because they didn't have fancy water warmers and,
right.
you know?
So, when you're at the hospice, checking in with a client and you said you're massaging them, listening to their stories, are you doing Reiki too?
So I'm always doing Reiki.
Yeah,
It might not be like, so if it's at an actual service, it's a little bit different, and, like, we tap in a little bit more,
right.
but when it's attached to the massage, I'm just doing what the body tells me to do,
Yeah,
or what I feel the tissues.
right.
An intuitive massage
Yeah,
is what I call it when I'm
right.
applying the Reiki,
Uh,
because I'm just using my intuitive ability
mhm.
for your body to tell me what it needs, for those tissues to tell me whether what I'm doing is helping or not,
Right.
and I can tell by your physical reaction whether that is or not. So it's a lot of like, you're giving me a lot of feedback, even if you're not speaking,
Mhm.
because the muscles will tense up, or if somebody's in pain, they know,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
give you a face or flinch or pull away.
Yeah.
So you know if you're causing pain or not,
Right.
so you just have to listen to the body.
Well, the reason I was saying with Reiki because I we were on a messenger group, I think, together, and somebody was posting something about, hey, the hospice needs people to come in and do
Mhm.
Reiki. So it's becoming more accepted in like the hospice and the care life,
Yes.
and I wonder how that is in the facility as far as, like, running the facility, like, if they're telling the patients, "Hey, this is what Reiki is, this is what to
So
expect," or there's, like, they're gonna come in and just
n-
talk to you.
normally, like it would be your hospice nurse, like whoever your charge nurse was, would come in and like make a care plan. Now, I'm not real sure how all that works, but they come in and they like, if you need occupational therapy or if you would like massage or this or that, like they'll have somebody come in, like a spiritual counselor guy come in
Right.
and pray with you if
Mhm.
that's what your choice is. So like some people choose Reiki because they don't have like a spiritual preference or they're open to whatever.
Right.
Um but how those services are given is on what the nurse is educated on. Because if she doesn't know what Reiki is, she's not going to be offering it.
Right.
So I try to speak with all of my charge nurses so that they kind of knew what I was doing. But it, you know, it's
Mhm.
not, it is getting more well known,
Right.
but it's not just everybody knows what it, like Tylenol.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what that is.
Yeah,
I wish that we
this
could get into where,
Benadryl, I
yeah,
mean,
where people are like, oh, Reiki. Yeah, I know what that is.
yeah.
So um,
I think it's growing, though, I
it
really
is.
do. I mean, even from when I've been doing it for 3 years, and I remember when I first started doing it, I felt
The
like I was
woo closet's gotten bigger.
it has, and that's what I'm saying is, like, I remember, like, I was almost scared not scared to tell people about it, but, like, because, well, we're in
Fearful of judgment.
yeah, and we're in the West, and, like, Reiki doesn't is not in our vocabulary. I mean,
No.
it's a Japanese form of energy healing, so people I mean, especially in the West, like, we know Spanish pretty well, we know French, but Japanese, there isn't a lot of people speaking Japanese in the West. So when you say Reiki, or even if you hear some of the symbols from another person or another Reiki
Well,
master.
honestly, in the English language, it's not for us to have a word that we know to break down like Latin.
Yeah,
Our whole medical terminology is written in another language.
right.
We just don't realize that because you call it arthritis.
Yeah, we call it
So,
something else.
but if you were somewhere else, they'd be like joint inflammation.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of like with Reiki,
Mhm.
universal energy.
Right.
So like in the English language, we don't look at that terminology of what that breaks down to meaning. Just like
Symbology, yeah.
new human.
Yeah.
We don't break that down into terminology. It's just we read it as is.
Mhm.
Or in the English language, we make another word.
Yeah, we do that too. Or slang,
Yeah,
you
we just
know?
add another word,
Yeah.
bling
Uh-huh.
bling.
Right. And it keeps going.
That's
Yeah.
bussin'.
But
You
yeah,
know?
these
Like,
kids these days, I
they be
remember.
out of pocket is what they are.
Don't you remember it when we were growing up, though? Our parents were like, "The hell are these kids talking
Why are
about?"
you calling me dude?
Yeah, or like, I remember the, "What's up?" You remember that guy saying that? And now our
The
kids are like,
toads.
"Yeah, what are they
Yes.
talking about, dad? You're so old," you know? And it's like, "Yeah, just wait." So we're always, I guess, changing our language a little bit instead of going back to the old ways and touching on that, like, old and civilizations and all that stuff, and even the hospice care with, the patients and their stories, it's honestly everything you're doing is it's amazing that you're doing it all, and I just, like, think of that guy that keeps going to the 9 to 5 job. Again, that's okay where you're at, but, like, what you're doing, uh, I think I'm gonna go work with hospice today, and if that doesn't work, I'm gonna go back home and do my massage, and if that don't work, I'm gonna do facial care. You're just constantly changing your playbook, which keyword changing, and you're not really just always doing the same thing, so your growth is expanding all the time.
Yes. So sometimes it's kind of like frowned on when somebody can't keep a career for so many years or this or that.
Ye
And it's fine that you want to keep the same career from the
Mhm.
time you're 20 until you're 65. But what are you doing in your free time on the side?
Right.
Are you building something that you're going to enjoy after? Because that career is going to stop.
Mhm.
That life, that 9 to 5, and then what?
Yeah.
Then what are you going to do? You can be like, who am I? And what do I want to do with my life? And where am I going? And well, now that I'm retired and I'm on a fixed income, I don't really have the option,
Right.
like I don't want to be that, like and that's so I've always had another hobby or something over here that's kept my interest or filled my cup or made me smile so that I could do whatever it was that was paying my bills.
Mhm.
So there was a time where massage felt redundant,
Right.
where it was just fixing the same people and doing the same thing and giving the same lectures and nobody wanted to do the at home care, make your life easier, make my job easier. Nobody wanted to do that.
Mhm.
I kind of understood where doctors just when you walk in the door and you have a problem, they're like, "Huh, here's a pill. Get out of my office." Because they've given the lectures, they did care, and nobody wanted to put in the work. Everybody wants a quick fix.
Man, that's a different way to look at doctors too. You know what I mean? Like,
Like, can you imagine though? 15 years, and you got the same hypochondriac coming in, dying every week. You
yeah,
give them a sugar pill, and they're like, "Oh, I'm happy for a month." Then they
right.
come back in, and there's something else, and you give them another sugar pill, and oh, that's gone. Can you imagine the redundancy? Then you
Yeah.
get a whole town.
See, I was just thinking because in this holistic world, and I feel like once you become attuned to your own body, your own vessel, and you really know how you operate, you know how to heal yourself, if you know what
Absolutely.
thing doesn't work, that I'm like, why do I need to go to the doctor? And those guys are just pill pushers. And I don't really care for doctors,
Right.
at all. But when you say that like that, it opened my mind up to the doctor. Like, listen, I think it started out, I want to help you, but then, just like you said, when you try to keep helping and they're just not grasping what you're wanting to tell them, it's like, "Well, here you go.
Yeah.
Here's your sign." You know?
And that's the I would love if people started asking their doctors, "Can you I understand my blood pressure is high right now.
Mhm.
Can I see a dietitian?
Yeah,
Can you tell me what I need to do in
yeah.
order to change this?
Right.
Is there a vitamin I can take? Is there something else I can take that doesn't have the same side effects?"
Yeah.
Challenge them.
Mhm.
Make them think outside their box.
Yeah, do you
That's
ever
what they're there for, is to help you understand how you can make your life healthier. And it might not be in the way that everybody else is doing.
Mhm.
And if you're willing to ask, what work do I need to put in to make my life healthier? Maybe that doctor's gonna be like, I can do some research for you and help you out because obviously you don't just want a quick fix or a band aid or a pill or this or that,
Mhm.
So we don't always have to like, oh, all doctors are all this. Sometimes it's on us. We need to take accountability for our own questions we ask,
Right.
how we challenge the people in our lives that are supposed to be doing a job for us.
Mhm.
So sometimes it's up to you to take responsibility to ask those questions, to say, what do I need to do? You know,
But even if the doctor, okay, let's go back picking on the doctor here. So if the doctor's like gives you, you ask all those questions and the doctor asks you like, wow, this is what you could do to get better. And if he's saying those questions and making you think outside the box to approach it from a more holistic way, does that's taking from the doctor's, uh, money pocket. You know what I mean? Because now you're
That's his
becoming
moral dilemma.
yeah, now you're becoming healthier, so you're not having to see the same doctor as much, so now his visits go down, and then no different than, like, pharmaceutical companies. Now that doctor is getting approached by the pharmaceutical company saying, "Well, wait, why are you only prescribing this pill now, so many times a week versus you used to prescribe it, like, 15 times a day, and now you're only doing it 3 times a week? What's going on here? What are you doing?" So
So
he could be getting that pressure as well.
that's his own moral dilemma he has to live with,
Right.
you know? What your doctor's goals are
Mhm.
is something maybe you discuss with them so you can find the right practitioner for you.
Right.
Like what are their goals for you as a patient? Do they want you to come back continually? Do they want to see you once a year? You know, because a lot of holistic doctors are you see me, we do a few video chats.
Mhm.
I don't want to see you back here. The whole
Right.
point is not to come back here.
Yeah.
So, you know, you got to kind of look at it
I would
however,
like to I've listened to some other podcasts, with, like, holistic doctors. Like, you spend okay, here's the difference between a holistic doctor and a doctor that's hooked up at a hospital. The doctor at the hospital goes through insurance. A
which
holistic
is what
doctor
everybody wants.
yes, a holistic doctor is like, "Hey, it's $1,200." We don't work with insurance companies either, but
Right.
they're gonna do your blood tests, they're gonna do
Uh,
blood pressure,
a
muscle
fecal
tests yeah,
analysis, all of it.
check
Your
everything
allergy
yes,
panels,
everything. They're
everything.
gonna know everything about your body and what's going on chemically too, you know?
What you're eating, what your exercise is, what your normal routine is.
Yes.
That's what they wanna know it inside and out.
Where are those guys at?
So you're gonna find them in bigger cities,
Yeah.
because our area is a little bit more closed off to that.
Right.
So,
I just haven't stumbled across one. One hasn't crossed my path yet.
I'll send you a link, for the one my sister's seen in Kansas City, and I wanna go see her sometime too.
Do you have to well, you're gonna have to physically go there,
So
right?
you go there, you physically go there,
Yeah.
and then, you send in your stuff or whatever, and then,
Right.
after you do your initial appointments, then everything's video,
Yeah.
unless you need to see them again.
Right.
So, I really wanted, just to see,
So do I. I mean, because
she
again
tells you what your body is absorbing and not absorbing, what vitamins, this, that are absorbing and not absorbing, and
yeah.
what you're lacking and all that. So, it's really great. I understand that it's an expense thing, but then it goes back to what's worth it.
Mhm.
Because most people's deductible or their out of pocket that has to be is thousands of dollars anyways.
It is.
So if you're going to spend thousands of dollars at the doctor,
Mhm.
why not spend thousands of dollars at the holistic and not deal with the insurance?
Exactly.
So it's all up to you.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like, even what we do, we're doing some form of energy work or body work or sound like Chelsea's doing, and, $100 or whatever the price is right around there, and I'm looking at, like, chiropractors, going there and it's $50 or $40 or whatever it is, but every time I go to the doctor, it's like, "Oh, no, it's your copay here, and then if you
And then
need
I'm
a"
going to send you a bill.
Yeah, and then here's your $500 bill, and you were only with me for 2 minutes,
Uh,
where it's like, "How is this right?"
And a lot of those holistic services, people aren't considering the fact that we're only asking you to come once a month.
Yeah.
We recommend once a month,
Mhm.
which is 12 times a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So is it really that expensive? Is it really that? I'm asking you to take 12 hours out of the year
Mhm.
to relax, connect with yourself, and do some body healing.
12 hours out of
12
the year,
hours a year.
and there's 24 hours in a day, 365 days.
Yeah.
That's a blip.
So what's worth it?
Right.
I'm going to the gym for 2 hours a week.
Yeah.
That's 8 hours a month.
Mhm.
Is it that long? That's 1 day work. 1 day work for somebody.
Right.
Is that really that long?
Yeah.
No. So, like, where are you willing to invest your time? Make your choice. I like chances, choices, and
Mhm.
changes are my 3 C's.
And you had that hard one too.
Yep. Pick your hard
Mhm.
and the 3 C's.
Mhm.
Those so
Is that a patent?
is that a patent? Should be. The Sam patent.
Sam
Claiming
patent.
that.
Yeah. Well, you have to
Dibs.
yeah. Yeah. Listeners, don't take that one, please.
No, actually use it and apply it to your life. It's great.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
That's what this is
and
about.
living the dream. A lot of people think I'm being sarcastic when I say I'm living the dream. Like, no, I woke up in a bed today with my bills paid and my heat on. I have running water and electricity.
Food in your
I
house.
am more blessed than 50% of the entire world's population.
Right.
Not everybody wakes up thinking like that.
Mhm.
They're just like, what am I missing today?
Well, counting your blessings, and that's what people again, we can go into the mirror effect here, like, when you're putting out that gratitude, that thanks into the world, and it just keeps coming back to you and coming
Right?
back to you,
Law of
you know?
attraction.
Yes.
Be grateful, receive.
We'll have to do one
You
on
know,
that, a podcast
we
on,
will.
manifesting. We're approaching our time here. I want to go into where can people find you if you wanna be found?
So Zen's Day Spa, you can find me on Facebook, Yoga Sam 111 on Instagram,
Mhm.
and at New Human Holistic on Monday nights. We'll be offering yoga
Yes.
and yoga nidra, and then full moons will be here for group. During the summer we have outdoors, so there's not a limited number, but we do have limited space, so we like to keep the numbers low so that it's intimate and that everybody has time and feels like they can
Mingle.
release and have that space. We want to create a safe space here so you can feel like you can be safe enough to be vulnerable and let some of those emotions and things go.
For sure.
Yeah. Peel off the mask while you're here,
Yeah.
you know?
Do you have any final messages for our guests?
No, I think I cleared it up with the choose your hard. It's all going to be hard. And the 3 C's chances, choices, changes, and living the dream because you're living somebody's dream. Just, sometimes you got to fake it till you make it. But if
Mhm.
you can wake up and think that all the things you're grateful for, that you have clean water,
Yeah.
one in 4 people have clean water in the
Mhm.
world. So if you can just wake up and be grateful
Yeah.
and see what today has to offer, see what you can do for today, not be expecting like something in return and just see what it has. Like open eyes, and be grateful for your lessons at the end of the day too.
For sure.
Because when you like relook at it and you think like, what happened today? Who did I impact today? All those small things that you do that caused a ripple effect through. You know,
Mhm.
I do a lot of stuff that like I don't put on social media. I don't post a lot of my private life.
Mhm.
This is my life. This is
Yeah.
my journey.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to be inspired, if somebody wants to talk to me, make an appointment. We can
Mhm.
talk, we can do spiritual guidance, we can do all that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't post a lot of my stuff. I fed a couple of homeless guys and their dog last week in Dubuque.
Yeah.
I went and got a chicken and a loaf of bread and a jug of water and a bag of dog food and like have a good day, man. And
Yeah.
he's like, God bless you. Like, God bless you too. Like I bless you too. I don't expect anything in return. I don't want a pat on the back. Oh, you're a good person. Or 50 people to like my post and be like, oh my gosh, that was so nice of you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not there for,
You're checking yourself whether you get any reward or not. You're just doing it
it's for
because
me.
yeah,
This is for me.
exactly.
This is so I can live with me, you
Mhm.
know? So, like, always try to give back a little bit without expecting a round of applause,
Yeah.
because those are the biggest rewards when you do something and
Don't get
nobody
it.
was watching.
Yeah, and yeah.
Nobody was watching. Nobody was expecting it. You didn't get a pat on the back. Nobody told you, "Good job."
Yeah.
Like, those are the biggest rewards when you recognize it
Yeah.
in yourself.
We need to recognize it.
Right.
Mhm. Pat yourself on the back. Sam did it. This was amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for coming on. Everybody out there, we hope you enjoyed the show and we will see you next time. Thanks, Samantha. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning into today's episode. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And remember, hit the like and subscribe button. And if you have any questions or anything, don't hesitate, reach out to us.